Hello and welcome to day number 119. Good God, I look like some sort of referee. I knew that the t-shirt was an interesting choice, but I didn't realise it actually did just make me look like some sort of referee or like a Newcastle United player or something. It's another one of my glorious Berlin t-shirts. Oh, dearie me, dearie me. Well, it's Mary of Many, number 2, Dietary Boogaloo, day number 5. And things have gone absolutely fine diet-wise. Health-wise, I've had a little bit of a twinge in my abdomen within the last half hour. Actually, I've just taken some of my lovely drugs for it, my lovely pain meds and anti-cramping medication, because apparently that's going to help with the muscles that are trying to force out all of these weird kidney stones. So, speaking of that, I suppose let's cover the things that I did today. I actually went to, well, first off, I called the number that I was given yesterday by the surgeon. Now, I did get through almost immediately to his secretary, and I opened the conversation as I usually do. I apologized profusely and said, "I'm terribly sorry, my German isn't great," and then proceeded to try and muddle through in German. Because once you set the expectation that your German isn't great, I feel like you should try and follow through regardless, because then they're kind of expecting it and they can tell you the mistakes that you're making if they feel so inclined. And you don't get better at a language by not speaking it, you know? So, spoke to the receptionist, the secretary, I should say, and she was a very, very nice lady. She was, you could tell from the voice she was an older lady, so got on okay at first. Went through the things like I need to have my gallbladder taken out, and I need to like book an appointment to have that done. Oh, right, okay. And then she said things that I didn't understand, and I apologized, and I asked whether or not she spoke any English whatsoever, even just a couple of words to help clue me in on what she just said. And the answer that I got back was, no, I'm afraid not. Unfortunately, when I was growing up, I grew up on the DDR side, the Deutsche Demokratische Republik, and I only learned Russian. And I said, no problem, not an issue, we'll manage somehow. And do you know what? I'm actually surprised I managed to get every single piece of information that she gave me. Even the words that I didn't understand, I managed to, sort of sound out and get them written down and things. And my surgery is booked for Monday. Yeah, it's that quick. Which I was sort of, I'm kind of relieved by, but also a little bit like, whoa, hang on, that's quite fast. I mean, I told my mum about it, and the NHS would have taken like an extra week at the very least, unless it was an emergency, like you got rushed into hospital and had to have it taken out straight away. I have no idea what the wait would be in America. Obviously, the more that you pay, sometimes the further up the list that you get shoved, but this is all paid for. I don't have to worry about anything. So, fair enough, that'll do me. So on Friday this week, I have to go along first thing in the morning to the hospital. I have to go to the outpatients department, or what translates as the outpatients department, the Aufnahme, I do believe. And I have to go in and have bloods taken, and I think I'm getting some extra ultrasounds maybe, and just like the general stuff that they need to do. And then I get released for the weekend and come back in first thing on Monday. I assume first thing on Monday. They haven't given me time yet, but first thing on Monday. And then I go under and I get chopped up a bit, and then I have some recovery days. Yay! So, spoke to her and got all of that sorted, figured out what I needed to do. She told me every step of the thing, every step of my journey from now on of what I need to do. So she told me that I had to go to my GP, my Hausarzt, my home doctor, and get my Einweis something or other. It's like the admittance slip for hospital, basically. So I had to get that and then go to TK, which is like the insurance company that is like the national insurance company. And then I get that signed, saying that they will pay for it and they know that it's coming up. And then I turn up on Friday. So tomorrow I've got to go and get the signature from TK. But yeah, everything's booked. Everything's going ahead. It's all set. So, yeah, fun times. I don't know, like, nervous is the wrong word. Like, I have apprehension, I suppose, but I know that I'm probably in safe hands, because most people are. Coincidentally as well, I was sort of figuring it out to myself, because I was, sort of thinking yesterday, especially, if the surgery comes before the end of the Mary's Mini, because I'm only on day 5 currently, like day 5 is now over, but if it comes before day 10, I can't guarantee that they're going to be able to like sustain my Mary's Mini diet in the hospital. So what do I do with that? I know that there's vegetarian options and things like that, but I don't know exactly what the situation is going to be. So do I stop the Mary's Mini just in case? Do I carry on with it and finish it off? Or, do I restart it at a later point? I had no idea. Now, because now I have a date for when it's all going to happen, Sunday is day 10. Sunday is the end of the Mary's Mini that I'm doing currently. So Monday is when I go in for my surgery, and I assume that on Monday I'll either eat only on the evening after the surgery, or I just won't eat at all in that entire 24-hour period. And then Tuesday is a normal weigh-in day. Like today's a normal weigh-in day. We're going to get to that in a minute. But yeah, so I figured that I can finish it off, this Mary's Mini. That means that I will be safe, because the gallbladder attacks and things are caused by eating oil and this thing contracting to squeeze bile into my intestines. And that is putting pressure on the stones and forcing one out, and horribleness. So I can eat perfectly safely up until then. I know from what I've read that you are nil by mouth, which means no food or anything, leading up to the operation. Because, like if you have a full stomach, sometimes you vomit and bad things happen, and no one wants to deal with that. So yeah, I think I should be safe eating perfectly normally as I'm doing on the Mary's Mini up until like Sunday. I'll find out on Friday whether or not I have to just eat like up to a certain time and then fast afterwards, or what's going on. But yeah, like I should be able to finish this out, and then we'll be able to layer everything up and tell everyone exactly what's been going on. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's get into the food that I've eaten today. So today I had this for lunch and had this for dinner. So I'm now down to, let's come back in. I've only got one meal left that I've pre-prepared, and that is the final portion of the potatoes and green beans from Atlantic Creole, who you can find up there. Now, that being said, that means that tomorrow I'm going to have to go shopping and I'm going to have to buy more potatoes, which I've got no problem with. I think I'm just going to keep it really simple and just do like chips and stuff with them, like, just like oven fries and like little chopped up roasted potatoes. I can't bring myself to make more mash and stuff. Like it's really good, don't get me wrong, but something a little bit lower effort for the next few days, I think, just to like bring me to the end of it. Like that's fine as far as I'm concerned. Like I think that's going to be okay. I've got plenty of vegetables and stuff. I think, I don't know. I suppose I could make more cheese. I don't know. This is hard. Like, I just want to get through the next few days. Like, the thing that I was thinking was actually just like call quits to the Mary's Mini #2 while I'm like, you know, once I run out of potatoes tomorrow. And then I can have like some chili, or I can have like some rice dishes, or I can have some corn, and just like mix things up a little bit. Like, not have anything with oil in or anything like that. Like, stick with McDougall style food. But just have stuff that I haven't been able to have up until now. Like, eat some bread, you know? Just because if I eat anything with oil, then that'll cause like problems. But if I just stick with McDougall style stuff, then, you know, I've got a lot more flavour that I can play with and a lot more different things that I can eat. But yeah, I don't know, I might as well stick it out, especially seeing as Sunday is day 10, so that means that I finish it just before the thing happens, and then afterwards I have a bit of time to recover and sort of like gauge the amount of stuff that I can eat and that sort of thing. I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks after, when things have started healing and you know, side effects of losing my gallbladder are aside, then I might try eating a little bit of meat then, just to see like how things go. Obviously I don't want to like overdo everything with like eating tons of greasy food. That would just be stupid after having like surgery to solve the problems that have been caused by that. But yeah, no. Man. Yeah, I don't know. This is a weird position that I found myself in. I'm not going to lie. Like, I have never, ever had surgery. Ever. I know for the last couple of days this is all I've been able to talk about, but it was a pretty big shock to the system when it happened. Anyway, right, look, let's draw a line under it. Let's call it quits. Let's move on with stuff. So, let's talk about how I've actually done and how I am doing weight loss wise. So over here is my previous 2 weights. Those are from like a week ago and the week before that, is how I'm always doing it. And then those are in kilos. Here's those same dates but in pounds. And then over this side, over here, we've got what my weight was this morning in both kilos and pounds, and then how that compares to last week, like how much I've gained, how much I've lost, etc. So there we go. What are we going to do with these numbers? Well, we can see that like the Mary's Mini is working again. The Mary's Mini always works, it feels like, to a greater or lesser extent. I know that my progress this time isn't necessarily as good as my progress in the first one. I mean, the first one I lost like 10, 11 pounds, something like that. I can't remember exactly. This one, it's going a lot slower, but to be fair, part of that was being hospitalized, and, you know, I imagine, like, you know, just like bouncing back and recovering and that sort of thing has thrown everything off a little bit. But I don't mind. Like, I'm still heading in the right direction. I mean, technically you could look at it as on Monday I'm definitely taking a step in the right direction, because I'm losing some rocks that I've grown inside me. Hello, what can I do for you? What's the matter? So yeah, like things have gone pretty damn good. Things have gone pretty decent. I think I'm better equipped now to carry on with my journey than I was at the very, very beginning. I've learned a lot more. I've definitely learned more recipes, and my light has just died. Yay! Right, that's a signal to just call it quits then. Yeah, like things are good. Like I definitely recommend, you know, get a proper health checkup before you start. But yeah, things are going great. Absolutely brilliantly. Apart from, you know, the surgery that's upcoming. But yeah, whatever. Right. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to go. I'm going to charge up my lights. I'm probably going to edit this and then either go straight to bed or maybe paint a little bit. I don't know. Probably play with the cat a little bit more because he seems to be a little bit freak outy. Oh well. So long as he's not biting my toes now, which is good. Right. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you have a good one. I shall see you tomorrow. Without further ado, bye-bye.